Greetings from sunny Victoria. It's a wonderful summer day here on Vancouver Island, and I hope the rest of you are enjoying summer as well. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Garnet Schulhauser, and I'm a Level 2 QHHT practitioner and the author of 4 books in the spiritual genre: Dancing on a Stamp, Dancing Forever with Spirit, Dance of Heavenly Bliss, and Dance of Eternal Rapture. After posting my last video, I got a somewhat cryptic message from a friend who said that she enjoyed watching my video, but I was much too serious. So I hope to remedy that today by injecting a little humor at the beginning of this video, courtesy of my 5-year-old granddaughter, Chimera, who loves knock-knock jokes. So here we go. Knock, knock. Who's there? Let us. Let us who? Let us in. It's cold out here. And another one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Boo. Boo hoo. No need to cry. It's only a joke. Now on to today's topic. I want to talk about the new Earth. The new Earth has been a topic of much conversation over the last number of years. Many people acknowledge that Earth exists in a higher dimension, sometimes referred to as 5D Earth, in contrast to our current Earth, which is 3D Earth. It is generally recognized that the new Earth is a wonderful place, full of love, happiness, forgiveness, with no toxic emotions and no conflicts, wars, or crime. It is indeed an idyllic place. And I can confirm that because on one of my astral trips with my spirit guide Albert, he took me to visit the new Earth. On my trip to the new Earth, which I describe in my second book, Dancing Forever with Spirit, I met with the descendants of some villagers who had originally lived in Central America eons ago. They were peaceful and spiritual people who got along and lived in harmony with each other and with Mother Earth and the other creatures on our planet because they understood their connection to Source and to each other. And then one day, much to their dismay, they noticed that there was a barbaric army encroaching on their territory, hell-bent on a campaign of rape, plunder, and pillage. The people of this village had no weapons and no way to defend themselves. So their spiritual leaders had to come up with an alternate plan to escape. So with the help of some guidance from the spirit realm, the spiritual leaders organized a group meditation in a meadow near the village. And when the meditation was over and they all opened their eyes, they noticed that they were in a completely different place and there was no sign of the encroaching army anywhere. They then realized that they had ascended to the new Earth. And because the citizens of the new Earth had learned to slow down the aging process and eradicate all diseases, and to be able to repair injured tissue, all of the citizens lived for several hundred years in a very happy, peaceful, and fun-loving society. Because of all this, the new Earth is truly a paradise that all humans on the old Earth should aspire to reach. In some of my QHHT sessions, the higher self has revealed some interesting information about the new Earth. The higher self has confirmed that it is possible for all of us to ascend to the new Earth simply by raising our vibrations to match the vibrational rate of the new Earth. This is a concept that's simple in theory, but very difficult for humans to implement. The way we can raise our vibrations is by fully embracing love, compassion, and forgiveness, and stifling all of our toxic emotions like fear, anger, hate, greed, jealousy, and propensity to judge other humans. In one of my astral trips with Albert, I met a soul on the spirit side who had been incarnated in the old Earth and who had made the physical ascension up to the new Earth during her lifetime. She had been a young lady happily married to a beloved husband and 2 wonderful children. Her life had been basically ideal until one day her world was torn asunder. A drunk driver ran a red light and T-boned her family's car, killing her husband and 2 children instantly. She was initially overcome with grief, and that gradually turned to anger against the drunk driver who had killed her family, and against God for allowing this tragedy to happen. She then began a downward spiral into the depths of despair and depression, eventually contemplating suicide. She was saved when a friend suggested that she travel to India and visit an ashram and learn how to meditate. Fortunately, she followed this advice and she traveled to an ashram in India where she began to meditate. Slowly but surely, over a period of time, she was gradually able to put behind the tragedy that had wrecked her world, and she gradually became better and better at the meditation. And then one day, when she was meditating all alone in a garden, she took the final step on the path to spiritual enlightenment. She unconditionally forgave the man who killed her family, and she stopped blaming God for letting this tragedy happen. When she opened her eyes, she was in a totally different place, and she was greeted by a handsome young man who said, "Welcome to the new earth." By fully embracing love and compassion and forgiveness, this lady had raised her vibrations to a high enough level that they matched those of the new earth, and she physically ascended to that wonderful place called the new earth. And the higher self tells us that in most cases where entire towns or communities have vanished seemingly into thin air, it was really the case that the citizens made a mass ascension to the new earth and basically disappeared from our old earth. Some notable examples of this kind of group ascension to the new earth occurred during the Mayan civilization, where cities like Palenque and Tikal were abandoned in great haste by its citizens, leaving everything behind intact. Events which still baffle modern-day archaeologists who cannot come up with a rational explanation for how all these people disappeared in such a hurry. In more recent times, some communities have lost all of their citizens in very mysterious circumstances, such as the new city complex in New Jersey and the Hora Verde village in Brazil, where all homes and buildings were abandoned in great haste, leaving personal items and food behind. So now that we know it has been done numerous times in the past, it is up to each of us to raise our vibrations so that we too can make the ascension to the new earth. That's all for now, and remember to keep on dancing.